Hello YouTube and welcome back to Friday Minis. Now, do you remember back in the day when we used dial-up modems to connect to the internet? You remember those were the days when you couldn't pick up the phone when you were online? If someone actually picked up the phone, your connection would probably drop. Then after some time, we moved on to what was known as broadband, or the technical term for that will be ADSL. And then when we did that, we realized that now we can actually talk on the phone and be online at the same time. It seems pretty interesting how these two different technologies, actually serve the same purpose, but one has a certain limitation and the other doesn't. The question of course is, why is that so? You see, when you actually use dial-up, what you're doing is you're using your phone line to dial a number, and what you're doing is you're using the channel that's normally used for voice, so more like an audio channel of some sort, and you're using that to carry data. As a result, when you actually picked up the phone, you are introducing noise into that data, making that data difficult to read, generating a whole lot of errors, and eventually causing the entire connection to drop. ADSL does not suffer from this problem, seeing as that the data is now not carried in the same channel that audio or voice is actually carried. Instead, far higher frequencies are used for this purpose, and as a result, it is less possible for these two things to affect each other. Having said that, however, if you are using ADSL in your house, there is actually a little piece of hardware that you need to use to actually ensure that the connection works properly. What you have is this thing called a microfilter. You see, this device is actually a low-pass filter. What this means is you actually need to connect your telephones to that device before actually connecting it to the rest of your line. That device actually acts as a filter to cut off the higher frequencies, and the reason why we need that is because there is a possibility that when you're talking on the phone, some stray signals or echoes can actually go high enough to interfere with your data. By putting in the filter, you are basically completely eliminating the chance of this happening, and as a result, you can guarantee that the connection will continue and be stable. Now you know why you can pick up your phone while you're connected to the internet. That pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Friday Minis. As always, don't forget to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. You're watching 0612 TV.